Welcome, 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 you guys. Thank you again for joining this Monday mornings, the Masters of Mind call. This is Charles Hayward. Thank you again. Feel honored and blessed to be able to bring this information to us, to you all, every Monday morning at 9:30. We are here, same time, same line. Just 5 to 10 minutes of quick information. Hopefully that will inspire you to move your life in a direction of excellence. This morning, you guys, the call was really brung to me by one of my coaches. About a month ago, I had a chance to sit with him and get some awesome information that he really laid out and wanted to share that information with you guys. So today's call, you guys, I've titled it, What's Your Focus? Success or failure? But what's your focus? Because, you know, the human mind is a really extraordinary thing. It's the reason who we are, because it provides us as humans the ability to manifest whatever we want in the physical world. Only use our. I remember hearing that for the first time, and all I could think to myself was, yeah, okay, well, you know, how does it do that, right? You know, how does my mind translate into what I've become? You know, and how do I use it to get what I want? You know, because this hard work thing just doesn't seem to be working, right? Well, since then, I've come to learn exactly how through the human mind, we're able to bring into reality the things that were previously just figments of our imagination. You know, it all revolves around one simple concept that describes what makes us as humans differ from every other species on the planet. You know, the very reason why we as humans have been given complete dominion over the earth and all of her treasures. And that concept is the discernment of choice. You know, or you might refer to as the power of the will. You know, we as humans are not ruled by our instinct, you know, as every other living thing on this planet is. You know, we have the power to choose our actions based on the cognitive process of thinking. You know, we can weigh the pros and the cons, and we can make a choice that may very well go against our instincts. You know, and it's those decisions that we make that ultimately decide the outcomes that manifest in our lives. But it all starts with the thought that we focus on. Napoleon Hill points out to us that the one and only thing that any person has 100% control over are their thoughts. You know, and it's those thoughts that are going to determine how we see the world, how we interpret the world, respond to the world, and ultimately what the world is to us in the physical. For example, I'm sure you've heard a million times that the wealthy think completely different from the poor and the middle class. That's why they're wealthy. Napoleon Hill talks about it at length in his writings. Robert Kiyosaki talks about it in his Rich Dad versus Poor Dad book. Even Solomon, the richest man ever to live, tells us in Psalms 23:7 of the Bible that as a man thinketh, so is he. That invariably you become what it is you think about. You know, that wherever your focus is, that is where you will end up, because your thinking will determine your actions, and your actions are what have made the life what it is for you. You know, it can make whatever it is that you want, but it all begins with the thought. You know, so the question becomes, what is it that you're thinking about most? What is your main focus? Well, for the average person, you know, the answer to that question is their job. And since that's what they focused on, you know, they really become their job. You know, when I figured that out, a little light bulb went off in my head as to the explanation on why people identify so much of their self-worth with their employment. You know, think about it. You know, they wake up in the morning to an alarm clock, they shower, they brush their teeth, etc. Why? To go to their job. You know, they rush out of the house and speed down the highway. Why? So they won't be late to their job. You know, when they're on the job, they're thinking about the job. When they're eating lunch, you know, they're keeping an eye on the clock so they won't be late getting back to what? The job. You know, going home, they're so happy that they're no longer at the job. Okay? And later that night when they go to sleep, you know, at a certain time, it's because they want to be well rested for tomorrow at the job. You know, Wednesday is hump day, TJIF. The weekend is too short. My goodness, not another Monday. You know, I'm sure you guys get the picture by now. You know, for the vast majority of people, their job has become their predominant thought in their life. Now, right now, there's someone saying, but how does that make me my job? Well, what determines the kind of house you live in? Your job. You know, what determines the kind of car you drive? Your job. What determines the kind of clothes you wear? Your job. You know, what school your kids attend? Your job. What restaurants you eat at? When you vacation? Where you vacation? How long you vacation? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. In the nutshell, you know, you have become your job. Now, I'm not saying that there's a problem with having a job, you guys. No, that's not what I'm saying, so I don't want you to hear that. But there is a problem when the I am of your life is to identify with a career or a job, because we all have the potential to be so much more. You know, there's a problem when the vast majority of people never lift their heads up from the indentured servitude of a job to focus on the promise of living an abundant life that we were all born with, especially when all the statistics prove that only having a job will lead to a poor life, a life of lack and of dissatisfaction. On the other side of that coin, you guys, there's the rich and wealthy. And they are rich and wealthy because they have goals, you know, goals of being rich and wealthy. And they think about them constantly. You know, it gives them direction for where to put their energy to the most effective and efficient use. You know, and as the saying goes, as a man thinketh, so is he. So the rich and wealthy think about their goals. They focus on their goals, and so they become their goals. And anyone can do this regardless of the goal. You know, it doesn't have to be a financial one. You know, maybe you're making good money, but you don't have the time to enjoy it. You know, maybe you're a college student and the goal is a degree. You know, maybe it's a better relationship with someone that's close to you. Whatever it is, all you have to do is decide that it's exactly what you want and consistently and persistently focus all of your thoughts and attention on it. You know, completely disassociate yourself from your current circumstance and focus on your goal with complete confidence. Through faith, your thoughts will eventually command your actions, and the goal you have will eventually have no other choice but to be accomplished. So what are you focusing on this morning, you all? Because remember, you have the power to choose. You can focus on nothing and become just that, or you can focus on the goal at hand and become what you envision. The choice is yours. I want to thank you guys again for joining the Masters of Mind call this morning. We are here every Monday morning, 9:30 a.m., here at 559-726-1000. The PIN code is 601864#. You can also find us on Facebook.com/The Masters of Mind. I definitely invite you all to join us there online for some awesome information that I'd love to share with everyone. Thank you again, you guys, for attending the call this week. As always, remember that your destination in life is not determined by what happens to you, but rather what you do about what happens to you. Until next week, this is Charles Hayward signing off. I wish you all a wonderful day. God bless, and take charge.